Okay, so the last couple of weeks I've just been looking into the sport of baseball a lot more, looking at different matches, looking at different teams, strategies, coaches and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie, some of the things in the sport is just so weird and just so unique and so interesting compared to other sports. So it definitely is very, very unique to compare to some sports and some different rules and regulations and normal things that athletes do in baseball compared to other sports. So it's been really interesting to learn about it. One thing that I found quite interesting compared to some other sports is the amount of attention that they put towards the mental side of the actual sport. I mean, I might be a little bit biased, but I feel like the mental side is just so important for kind of all sports, and it's great to see that baseball really do apply that to all their athletes, and most of the teams, if not all of them in the MLB, have their own kind of mental skills coach, or they have their mental skills kind of group in the academy working with all the athletes. And so that is very much needed in the sport of baseball, as well as just all sports. The same way athletes need to develop themselves physically is the exact same way that they need to develop themselves mentally, and having a coach there that specializes in that area is so important. And so through learning a bit more about the sport, there's definitely been a few more kind of common things that I've been seeing from lots of players and lots of teams that are fundamental on the mental side of the sport. And so that is what I'm going to be looking at in this video today. I'm going to be breaking down 3 fundamental kind of mental skills that I've seen which baseball players really need to make sure they're having a really good performance consistently. And so for all my baseball fans out there, your baseball team, your favorite baseball player probably will be using some of these mental skills and techniques. And so all the baseball players, or even coaches, baseball coaches, that you can help learn and teach these skills to different athletes. Stay tuned for this video as we break down some of the mental skills and mental side of the sport of baseball. So what is up, guys? My name is Philip and welcome to my channel Psych Pass Shoot Score, your channel for anything sports and sports psychology related. So if you're enjoying any of these baseball videos that I've been putting out in the last couple of weeks, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit this like button if you're enjoying this video so far, and make sure you just subscribe for more sports and sports psychology content just like this. And so yeah, in this video I really just want to break down some of the different fundamental things that I've just been seeing across all different players that are really fundamental on the mental side of the sport. And so first of all, a really important mental skill for all baseball players, no matter the position, is their information processing speed, or just their decision making speed just in general. So if we're looking at different highlights from players, highlights from different teams and matches and stuff like that, one thing is very clear is that no matter what position you play, there are so many different things that you have to take into consideration and that you have to think about before you actually make that decision. And so for example, for pitchers, they have to think about what ball are they going to throw, they're going to have to think about their hand placement, they're going to have to think about what they're going to be doing, anticipating what the batter might be thinking that they might be throwing, and then all of this has to be in agreement with their catcher so they're both on the same page. And don't even get me started about the actual batters themselves. They have so many different things to take into consideration.
This game's hard enough as it is, right? You can think about it. I think it's 0.4 seconds you have when you're facing a guy out there that throws 94, 95 miles an hour, right? So when I'm in the box, I have to determine, okay, is it a fastball? Is it a curveball? Is it a slider, split finger, changeup? Yeah. Is it up? Is it down? Is it in? Is it out? Is it sinking? Is it cutting? Am I swinging? Am I not swinging, right? You blink in 0.4.
And so with so many different things to think about and consider in such a short amount of time, the ability to actually extract the right information and actually make a good decision is so important. And this now leads me on to the second kind of fundamental mental skill that baseball players really need to have within their arsenal, and that is having an accurate amount of kind of arousal levels or kind of energy levels. And so energy levels are really important from what I've kind of been seeing so far and just learning the sport of baseball. So being too relaxed, of course, you're not then going to be able to kind of perform that technique accurately and perform that at the correct speed. But then on the flip side as well, being too aggressive, being too kind of tense, that is kind of poison for like your fluidity of your movements, whether you're a pitcher kind of throwing a ball or whether you're a batter trying to kind of hit that ball. Having high levels of aggression is really just going to mess up your technique no matter what position you're in. And so really balancing those levels of relaxation and kind of aggression is really just going to help with the fluidity of your movements, helping you make good decisions and just overall with your performance. And so it is a really important mental skill which all baseball players really need to have. And then lastly, confidence. Confidence in yourself, having that self-belief in your ability to perform the specific techniques that you need to do in those situations is really important. It feels like in this sport, you can lose confidence so quickly just because of how many things you need to think about, just because of how many situations which arise depending on your position. I feel like every single position, the margin of error is so small. And so if they do make a wrong decision, if they do make an error, it has such a big repercussion on the whole team. And so confidence is really important, not only when you're performing really well and making sure that your performance is kind of consistent. Confidence is going to help in those situations, but then of course in situations when you're performing poorly or when you're in those pressurized moments, confidence is of course going to have a big impact on your ability to actually perform those specific skills. And so these are 3 different fundamental mental skills that baseball players really need to have within their arsenal. And there are countless examples that I've kind of seen in the past couple of weeks of when athletes had this and helped them perform really well, but then also when athletes didn't really kind of take care of these kind of 3 areas and it had a big impact on the results of certain matches. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Make sure you hit that like button or subscribe for more sports and sports psychology content just like this. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.